Hello and welcome back to SOMAtalks, a podcast where body and mind meet. Think back to when you were 18, 15, or even 10 years old. What did you want your life to look like? Who did you think you would become?
We are taught from a very young age that having a dream is the ultimate key to a fulfilling life. We are told to pick a vision, lock our eyes on the target, and chase it ruthlessly until it becomes reality. But what happens when you finally get close to that dream, or maybe you even achieve it, and you realize it no longer fits who you are? Or what happens when life throws an unexpected curveball and the path to that dream completely vanishes?
In our society, changing your mind or letting go of an old ambition is often mislabeled as quitting or failure. But from a psychological and somatic perspective, the ability to pivot isn't a weakness. It is the ultimate sign of emotional maturity, resilience, and alignment. Today we are going to explore the fluid psychology of our dreams and ambitions. We're going to discuss
why we become so deeply attached to specific outcomes and why letting them go feels like actual grief.
The psychological concept of identity foreclosure and how it keeps us trapped in past versions of ourselves.
How forcing an outdated dream creates chronic tension and dysregulation in the body.
And last but not least, practical somatic and psychological tools to help you navigate the transition of pivoting your life with flexibility and trust.
If you are ready, let's begin.
Firstly, the psychology of attachment to dreams. Why is it so incredibly painful to admit that a dream has changed? Whether it's a career path, a relationship dynamic, or a specific lifestyle goal, our minds treat our dreams as more than just targets. They become our identity anchor. When we hold onto a vision for years, our brains build complex neural pathways around that future. We don't just envision the job or the city, we invest our sense of safety, worth, and validation into it. This is closely tied to attachment theory. Just like we can develop an anxious attachment to a person, needing constant reassurance from them to feel okay, we can also develop an anxious attachment to a specific future. When that future is threatened, even if it's because we don't want it anymore, our survival brain panics. It views the loss of the dream as a loss of self. This is why you might feel a deep sense of anxiety or existential dread when you realize your heart isn't in your current path anymore. You aren't just changing your mind, you are grieving a version of yourself that will never exist. In developmental psychology, there is a powerful concept known as identity foreclosure, originally mapped out by psychologist James Marcia. This happens when an individual commits to an identity, career path, or belief system early in life without exploring alternatives, often to satisfy external expectations or to fast-track a sense of certainty. We see this all the time. Someone decides at 18 they want to be a corporate lawyer or a specific type of designer, and they shut the door on every other part of their evolution. They put on blinders. But humans are not static systems. We are dynamic, constantly changing organisms. According to self-determination theory, true well-being requires autonomy, the feeling that you are the author of your own life in the present moment. If you are still trying to fulfill a dream created by a younger version of you, you are no longer self-directed. Psychological flexibility, the capacity to adapt to fluctuating situations and reconfigure your mental resources, is one of the ultimate indicators of high emotional health and low stress. Another question is, what happens to the body when the mind refuses to pivot? When we force ourselves to stay on a path that our soul has outgrown, it shows up in our physiology. Think about the physical act of forcing. It requires bracing, tightening. When you are operating out of a rigid, I must achieve this at all costs mindset, your nervous system stays stuck in a sympathetic fight or flight loop. You are constantly fighting against your own internal resistance.
Your body will always try to tell you the truth before your conscious mind is ready to accept it. Forcing an outdated dream often manifests as
chronic burnout, a deep, systemic exhaustion that sleep cannot fix because the energy drain is coming from a lack of alignment. The clenched response, chronic tension in the jaw, neck, or shoulders, literally holding yourself together to stay on a path that feels like it's crumbling. Gut intuition, that low-grade, anxious knot in your stomach whenever you think about your long-term future.
When we lack the internal validation to trust our own evolution, we overfunction and overexert. We override our body's signals of exhaustion because we are terrified of what will happen if we let go.
So, how to pivot from this loop? How do we cultivate the flexibility to let our dreams evolve? Healing this pattern means rebuilding a deep, unshakable connection with who you are right now, not who you used to be.
Here are 4 grounded, science-based steps to help you transition.
Run an identity audit. Look at your current major goals. Ask yourself, whose dream is this? Is this the dream of my 20-year-old self? Is it a dream designed to get external validation? Or does it genuinely nourish my mind and body today? Practice somatic safe spaces. When the anxiety of uncertainty hits, your nervous system needs to learn that it is safe to not have it all figured out. Use slow, extended exhales, grounding practices, or intuitive movement to anchor your body in the present moment. Safety doesn't come from a guaranteed future. It comes from internal stability. Redefine the core essence of the dream. If your dream was to move to a specific city or achieve a highly specific job title, look beneath the surface. What was the feeling you were chasing? Was it freedom, creative expression, security? Once you identify the core essence, you realize that the specific vehicle can change, but the essence can still be fulfilled in 100 different ways. Embrace the hypothetical self. Allow yourself to play in the realm of imagination without the pressure of commitment. Write down 3 completely different versions of your life for the next 5 years. This stretches your mental flexibility and breaks the illusion that there is only one right path for you. Before we finish, remember that the most authentic connection feels light and open, and that includes the connection you have with your own future. A healthy life allows room for change and choice. Your dreams are allowed to grow as you grow. Letting go of an old vision isn't a sign that you wasted your time. It's a sign that the dream did its job. It carried you to this point. It taught you what you needed to learn, and now it is stepping aside to let the person you are becoming take the wheel. Thank you for being here and for exploring this topic with me today. Until next time. SOMAtalks, Agata Daras.